Welcome to week 1 of ceramic course on textures. And during this week, we're going to cover a lot of material on testing, test styles, and experiments. I do believe that this is an important place to start because that's one of the most important things you can possibly do for your ceramic career and for your ceramic material exploration. Testing is important. It's crucial for so many different things, starting from our own health and safety to artistic exploration to adding a little bit more predictability to our ceramics and to our processes. If you compare ceramics to painters, when we put a glaze on a test tile or on a piece, the color is not going to come out the same. It is a lot more complicated for ceramicists to match the vision that we have in our head to the actual result. And so testing the materials in advance adds this important predictability and control to our ceramic pieces, to our ceramic processes. And at least some level of this predictability is very enjoyable and very comforting, especially when you put your piece into a kiln, you get it out and you look at it and you think, oh wow, this color and this texture is exactly what I envisioned in my head. In addition to that, testing also helps with experimentation and innovation. Without testing, it's sometimes very difficult to commit the whole kiln worth of firing to some new experiments. You don't want to ruin a piece and apply a specific technique that you've never tried before to your ceramic object without trying it out first. It might feel scary. You might have limited number of opportunities of how you can use the kiln and where you can find the kiln, how you can fire. So you don't want to waste those, and you don't want to waste the materials and your ideas as well. So making test styles is a really nice and playful way to add this experimentation and innovation into your practice, to find your unique style as well as refine it. The third very important reason, and I cannot overemphasize it myself as a teacher, because I do have to teach you how to be healthy and safe while experimenting and while trying out different things. A lot of the things that I'm going to be covering in this course are not covered in the Pottery 101 book for a reason. They're not particularly safe if they're not done correctly. And by safe, we might mean our own health. It might mean the health of our neighbors, the health of our kiln elements, our own pieces, and also the pieces that surround our experimental pieces in the kiln. If we do a proper job, and we do the testing first in advance before trying it out on big pieces, we can avoid a lot of different scenarios that might come out negative. The Pottery 101 book is not going to teach you, go pick up this rock or the dirt from the ground and apply it to the vase. And I'm going to do it for a reason. The rocks might explode, the rocks might crash and fall into somebody else's piece. All of this needs to be done with precaution and needs to be tested. You never know what material is going to melt or explode, so it's better to test it safely using the proper test styles. The next very important reason is the artistic expression. I do believe that when we get close to our materials, when we learn how to use them, when we learn how to experiment and create a system, we are more able to express whatever we have within us into the outside. So our mastery becomes better, and our filter through which the idea comes into this reality is also becoming more and more refined and fulfilled. So the more instruments, the more techniques you know, the more techniques you've mastered, the better. And the experimentation and testing is the best way to achieve that. Remember how if you've ever been to any community studio, or at least for me, that's the case because I'm really drawn to very, very specific aesthetics that's not close to traditional glazes available at community studios and colleges. Unfortunately, when I go to look at the ceramic test styles on the wall, when I want to glaze my object, I am lost because I do not like any of them. I really want to create my own thing and my own glaze, my own technique that will reflect what's within me. I would be really happy if there were to be enough commercial products and commercial materials that would match my own vision, but unfortunately there isn't, because all of us are different and all of us require completely different techniques and we have different visions of how we see beauty, how we imagine our product to come out. So imagine how instead of coming towards the wall full of glazed textiles that you don't like, you create your own library of textiles, of techniques that you like and that match your aesthetics. So every time you make an object and you don't know how to glaze, you just approach your own wall with textiles that you've tried before and you liked, and you're saying, okay, yes, that's the one that I want right now. Or maybe a mix of this and this. And all of them that are the textiles you like. The final reason, and one of the important reasons for me personally, is environmental factors and sustainability. I believe that it is a lot better to fire tiny textiles and fail than fire a gigantic vase and fail and either have to throw it out into the landfill or refire it again and again and again until you get the result. Therefore, I do believe that testing is one of the most important things we need to learn how to do, and even if it might feel like some kind of limitation to our artistic expression and creative flow, believe me, that's an important piece of the artistic flow and creation. It gives a lot of freedom and a lot of stability at the same time and moves your artistic exploration a lot further. In the next lecture, we're going to cover what kind of textiles we can use and for what purposes.